Here's another Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins Quickcast. A quick bit from the show.
Lash and Take Me Away. Perth band Lash. It was a huge hit thanks to the movie Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, Kimber.
Frustratingly, it wasn't Lash who got to perform it for the movie. Pink Slip did it instead, and we have got Belinda Reid from Lash to tell us what happened. Hi, Belinda.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Welcome back to a studio.
Well, yeah, I love being in the studio. It is so fantastic instead of just over the phone, I must say.
Yeah. Now, so this is the thing. You were a young punk band. You guys, you were playing from the age of 13, I believe.
Yes, we were in pubs at 13 with our parents watching, and we had to get out of there after we played. And after that, after high school, we went to Sydney and we got signed by a record label. So
not just any record, it was Mushroom Records as well, wasn't it?
It was Mushroom Records, and also James Packer had this side record label called Engine Room.
Yeah. So, I mean, you had this, crazy opportunity. What did that feel like? Because I'm sure that every single one of us, even if we didn't play an instrument, would have at the time gone, oh, I wish I could be a rock star. This suddenly feels like it's a possibility for you and it's happening. And then something changes and the band splits up.
Yeah, well, we actually got asked to do the movie and use the song as we were breaking up as a band. That was in 2003. So we did the big day out in 2003. That was our last show in Perth. And we got asked to, have our song on that movie, and it was as we were breaking up. So we'd been together for so many years, and we broke up for a good reason because one of the girls wanted to have a family, and having a family on the road isn't quite easy. It was a time to sort of break up and do our own thing and become real and normal in society. And then Pink Slip was put together, and that was probably the best representation of our band, because our band was this garage band and our parents were always saying, turn it down, do this. But the best representation of our band, it was girl angst and, garage band, and Jamie Lee Curtis as a mum telling her daughter, Lindsay Lohan, to shut up, or you can't go to that concert because you have to go to this and you can't do this. But we were 15 years old playing in pubs, and we were always being told you cannot do this gig because, you've got someone's anniversary is on, and we're playing the show, Mum and Dad. We're playing the show. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's very much like our band as such. But it was such an amazing honour to have our song in a box office movie, because not just once, twice.
Yeah.
And also it's a second generation. So I've got my daughter's friends at school, and she's like 9, and they're all talking about Freaky Friday. It's such a weird sensation and a weird thing to experience, because the teenagers when we were 18, that was their generation of the first movie.
Well, yeah, because Freakier Friday, the sequel, is returning, and they're going to use the song again.
Yeah.
So it is going to be a whole new generation.
It is, and I can't believe it's actually hit more popularity now than it did then, because now TikTok is around. There was no social media back then. Back when we released, there was just MySpace. Do you remember MySpace?
Yeah.
That was the cool thing, right? Now there's so much exposure for music.
So now so you're a real estate agent now.
I am.
In Fremantle.
I am.
How has the transition been for you to go from that rock star lifestyle, not bringing real estate agent down by any notch, but to go from that rock star lifestyle, could have been mansions at Palm Beach, the festivals.
You're still working weekends, but not the same hours.
Right,
I have to work Saturdays now.
But that's the reality of it, right? But transitioning from that Hollywood lifestyle into, real estate agent in Fremantle.
Well, to be honest, the real estate agents these days live a real rock star lifestyle. You'd be amazed about their home opens and what happens when they sell the house. They party harder than rock stars, I think, honestly. It took some time, but at the end of the day, you can have music on the side.
Yeah.
Which is what we're thinking about doing.
Yeah, great.
Okay, hang on a sec. Is that an exclusive? What do you mean that's what you're thinking
Is the
about?
band getting back together?
Is Lash coming back or what?
Well, only if you have us.
Yes!
So Do you want us back?
Of course.
We're willing to come back if you'll have us. Bring it on.
Sounds fun.
Thank you so much for chatting to us. And
Thanks for having me.
Oh, that's all right. Watch this space. All right.
That was a Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins Quickcast. Want to hear more? Catch the full show podcast on the Listener app.